We all know this year's e-commerce has been booming and growing so fast.
It's crazy. Last year, COVID, everyone's shopping online. So
Yeah.
it's a perfect time to start an e-commerce business, isn't it?
So before you start your e-commerce business, we need to know there are 5 different business models that you should know.
Hi, my name is Anthony, the co-founder and CEO of Transbiz. We help online sellers scale their business on Amazon and Shopify. And here is my co-founder.
Hi, I'm Tammy.
Today, we're going to cover all 5 different business models for you and tear down the pros and cons so that you can decide on which business model is going to be perfect for your capital, resource, and skills. Right, let's dive right in. So we are starting with the most kind of popular one these days, I would say.
Yeah.
All right, so the dropshipping model. So dropshipping basically is an arrangement between your supplier and you, meaning it's just the way the goods is supplied to the consumer. You don't have to pay your manufacturers or your suppliers that money to hold the inventory in your warehouse.
Yeah.
You can just sell them first, and when you sell the item, you pay for the item and the item gets shipped directly from the warehouse of your manufacturer or supplier directly to the customer. So you don't have to touch the goods at all. So that's the beauty of it. However, when it comes to dropshipping, it's nothing new. It's been around for ages. I think ever since 2008, when I first started my first e-commerce business, it's already there. You can do it already. However, it was kind of different because back then the suppliers were very much local.
Yeah.
Like you can go to an Australian supplier and say, hey, can we do a dropshipping? They'll say yes, and there are websites online anyway. You can find suppliers who already are good with that, local suppliers. However, recently has changed because international shipping becomes so cheap.
Yeah.
So right now, there are so many suppliers and manufacturers in China where you can buy products and then they can ship from Shenzhen or any like big cities directly from China to US.
Wow.
Right? So that changed the whole dropshipping game because all of a sudden you have got a lot more choices where you can dropship and much faster scale as well. Because if you think about it, right, with the local US suppliers, they have a limited quantity of products in
True.
their warehouse as well. So you cannot go from 1 order a day to 1,000 orders a day. They'll be out of stock very quickly. But when it comes to the manufacturers there in China, they can source the products relatively quickly because that's where all the factories are.
True.
Right, so you can go from 1 order to 1,000 order a day very quickly. So that brings a lot of scale to people who want to make money online, and that's why like recently dropshipping has become so popular.
So it's actually lower risk that you have.
Exactly. That's a pro, right? You don't need a lot of money. You can start a business. You don't have to go through like a long legal process, getting an account with a supplier. You can just pick whatever product you want to go for and go with it. So it's a perfect way for people who don't have a lot of money to start.
And what is the cons for the dropshipping?
I mean, the cons is, well, you don't really see the product. You're playing like an information inequality game, basically. Like you're assuming consumers in the US haven't seen the product before, so they're willing to pay outrageous amount for it. You're not gonna build a lot of customers who are happy with you, the seller, or with your brand, because you're making like a really crazy margin on top. And the quality of the product is usually less selected because you pretty much just go to AliExpress and pick any product that you believe there's a chance. So if you don't do a lot of due diligence, meaning checking the quality, checking the supplier, checking the shipping experiences, because sometimes the shipping will take 15 days, 20 days. It's very irregular. So customer experience wise, it's not good. You're not going to have people who is like, well, when are you going to release the next product? I want to buy it.
So there's no return customer.
There's not going to be a lot of return customers unless you really spend time to build a brand, and that's something else we can talk about next.
And next one is wholesale and warehousing.
Right. So wholesale is basically like retailing. All right. So you basically buy out products from your manufacturers, suppliers in bulk, and have them stored in your warehouse. And then you sell them at a relative discounted price on Amazon. It's called arbitrage. Arbitrage is basically buy low, sell high.
Yeah.
And the demand is already there. You don't need to generate a demand because the margin is a lot thinner in those two. So you don't have a lot of margins to run advertising to drive traffic. So the best places for this kind of business to go is Amazon Marketplace.
Yeah.
Right? So there are a lot of products on Amazon which are already popular, right? The big brands, they're spending millions in advertising. What you're doing is just go to Marketplace, list the products at a lower cost, and basically undercut the other competitors and just grab that traffic and that customer right there on the go and make the quick buck there. It's a great business model because it's kind of easy to run.
Yeah.
It's very heavy on operation because we talk about running a warehouse, getting a lot of suppliers, a lot of SKUs because you're making thinner margins. So you have to get a lot of SKUs onto the marketplace. You have to be able to hold those products at the same time as well. On top of that, it's kind of raced down to the bottom because you can get the products, the other people can get the same products. So they're going to be competing with you on pricing anyway because there's only one buy box on Amazon, right? So everybody's going to try to discount in order to get that buy box, in order to win that buy box and get the sale. So it's kind of raced down to the bottom. The best operator will win. I mean, eventually there are going to be less people who do this, and the people who do it is going to be able to do it really, they're going to be really good at what they do. Okay, so that's pretty much it.
The third one is white label. So what is white label? Is actually the product is from manufacturer, and there are a bunch of people selling the same thing on Amazon or on other marketplace, and there's actually everyone are the same. What's your idea for the white label?
Yeah,
do you recommend it?
I just want to make sure everybody don't confuse white label and wholesale and warehousing because there's a fine difference. When you do wholesale and warehousing part, you're selling branded items that are popular. So we're talking about brands like ASUS, Acer, BenQ, those are electronic products that are really popular. When you do white label products, you're not selling a branded item. You're selling a no brand, basically, right? Just selling the goods, the commodity. So for example, a USB charger, for example, right? There's a Samsung USB charger, and there's a USB charger. So when we talk about white label, we're talking about people who sell no brand. They're just like, well, USB charger. And there's no brand markings on the products, the box, nothing, right? When the customer get a product, it's just like a USB charger.
That's all.
I can't recognize the brand, and there sure is no brand. And probably a lot of customers don't care if it's a good price. All right, so I think that's also the cons because people want to, people who shop white label products, they shop for price. Cons is obvious. It's not going to be a lot of margin. You're not going to build any awareness of future customers that keep coming back. So it's kind of a one-time business. There are a lot of demands. I think it's also a great way to tap into e-commerce that you can sell on marketplaces. It's also very kind of similar to dropshipping because the products you sell is literally the products you sell on dropshipping. And just the arrangement of the supplier is kind of different. It's dropshipping is supplier shipped to consumer. White label products you have to buy up first, right? You pay for the goods, whether it's 100 units or 50 units, but you have to pay for those first and then have those items shipped to either your warehouse or Amazon's FBA, Fulfillment by Amazon warehouse, and then have those two warehouses ship to the consumers. So the product you sell between the white label and the drop shipping is basically the same product. It's just that arrangement of your supplier relationship is a little different there.
The first one is private label. And this is more popular on Amazon because nowadays if your product are commodity product and everyone are the same, you don't have pretty much margin. So if you have your private label, you can put maybe Tammy brand or Anthony brand and have better package.
Yeah, I think people would love to buy
because people remember
Tammy
you
brand
better than Anthony brand. Yeah, let's talk more about it, the pros and cons.
Right, so with private label, Tammy already touched on a great point there, right? So you're putting your logo on it. Although you're putting your logo doesn't really mean a lot of things because the logo is not the brand, remember that, right? So we're going to talk about more about branding in the future. but at least it provides the customer a way to recognize this being a product that's different, maybe in a way that packaging is different. So it provides a step up in terms of potential profit margins. You're able to make it market it differently, at least.
Yeah.
Right? You can market it differently, so the consumer might have a different perceived value when they look at your brand because it might be packaged really well.
Yeah.
It might be named really well. That is itself, although it's superficial, I know it's superficial, but people are visual animals, right? So
True.
we look at the products, we perceive value out of it, right? So if we see we see a brown box that looks just really horrible with really horrible design. And if you look at another box that looks really good, the design is smart, and obviously
and look more luxury.
Yeah, and obviously we're naturally going to think, well, this is maybe more expensive, right?
Yeah.
So private label just provides you with that opportunity. Tweaks and changes on the product itself, because you might be ordering a lot more, because you're already putting a logo on the product, right? You might as well maybe think about, well, can I make this part of the product a little bit better?
Yeah.
All right, so based on the consumer feedback or reviews on Amazon, right, you can actually make the product a little bit different so that the product is actually more valuable as well. So you have got this double-pronged approach where you're making the brand have higher perceived value, and also you're making the product have higher perceived value. So that added together is a better business model overall. However, the cons is that you have to buy out a lot of quantities in order to get it started, like 1,000, 2,000, depending on the minimum order for those tweaks and design tweaks. So it's a lot more costly. You have to have money in order to invest upfront.
Or design,
yeah,
branding, rebranding things.
Yeah, all those kind of things cost either time or money. If you have a product that's already validated, you've researched well, you want to invest in something that's long-term, then this is a perfect business model to pick.
The last one is subscription e-commerce. So this one is the most profitable one. Why I'm saying this? Because when you got one client and it's going to repeat purchase each month or each week, there's Dollar Shave Club right there. So guys buying razor, they need to do it or shave it every single day. So the subscription e-commerce really work well. So let's talk about it.
Well, that's pretty much it. You said it, right? So you got repeat customers who already committed to buy from you every single month or every 2 months, depending on the billing cycle. So you got predictable income.
Yeah.
The product you're selling is basically private label manufacturing products. So usually the product is unique in its own way. People can't buy anywhere else. People need to feel that, well, this is the only place to get it from in order for them to stick to the plan. Otherwise, if your razor or your product is nothing unique, they can just really go to Amazon and buy from there, or subscribe on Amazon, because Amazon has got subscribe and save program as well. So the consumer can actually subscribe on Amazon. So in order to run a very kind of independent, successful subscription e-commerce based business model, you got to have a really unique product.
Yeah.
You got to be really good at organizing the operation costs and just getting down the cost, because when people are buying every week, they want to make sure they're getting a good deal.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to be able to buy and supply really efficiently and still make a profit on that. So that's pretty much it. It's very advanced in a way, because usually the per order price is pretty low at the beginning, kind of accumulates over time. So you got to be able to acquire customer at a loss at the beginning. So for example, if a customer is going to buy $20 worth of a razor every 2 months.
Yeah.
So over 3 times of purchase, that's $60. But your first time purchase is only $20. All right. So $20 is a very small average order value.
Yeah.
Okay. But you gotta, when you want to acquire the customer using outside marketing, it might cost $50, $60. So what does that mean? You gotta spend $50, but the first month you're only getting $20 back. And the next month you get another $20 back. The next month you get another $20 back. So only after 3 months, that's when you
break even.
Kind of break even. There's costs involved as well. So it's a very capital intensive business. You gotta pretty much lose money at the beginning, unless you can do something really viral and acquire customers really low cost. That's why Dollar Shave Club was able to succeed initially, because they created like a viral video.
Yeah.
And it was kind of new, and it was kind of a novelty back then. Like people haven't heard of like, whoa, razor, subscribe, cheap, and that's that. If you can't do that, then I think the economics, although long term it could work, but it's going to take up a lot of money as well.
True.
All right, that's the 5 different business models that you can go for in e-commerce. I hope that helps explain all the differences and help you decide on which one works best for you. If you're still confused, not sure, have any questions, feel free to comment below. We can help you answer and maybe help you find the best one that works for you. If you like the contents, please consider to subscribe and give a thumbs up for the video. That will help the YouTube algorithm to get our videos out for more people to see. All right, we'll see you in the next video.
See ya!
See ya.
Bye!